Hey, what's up, nurses? Peter Giza here, registered nurse, board-certified nurse coach, and co-founder of the Nurse Coach Collective. And today we're talking about essentialism and how to live an extraordinary life through practicing that. And look, financial well-being is an integral part of our work as nurse coaches. You see, I began my career at the outset of the Great Recession, and it was then that I saw firsthand how many people's overall health was directly impacted by the health of their wealth. As nurses, we make damn good money compared to much of the population. But right now, there's so much economic volatility, and with that volatility comes fear. But the best way to combat that fear is by taking ownership of what is in your locus of control. So in this installment of Nurses Stand Strong, let's talk about something that's usually taboo: money, financial well-being, and essentialism. And please note that this isn't financial advice. It's your life and your circumstances, and decisions are your own. And I'm sensitive to the fact that millions suffer every day from unhealthy distributions of wealth. But as nurse coaches, we must take care of ourselves first, so that way we can help others. And we must be willing to talk about things that aren't always easy. So let's talk about unprecedented expansion. The past decade has been one of unprecedented economic expansion, both nationally and globally. And during times of expansion, what inevitably happens to your lifestyle? Far too often, it inflates in tandem. When times are good, we spend more than we need to, and we neglect to explore ways to live fully, but without the excess. However, as you're seeing right now, there's always balance. Expansion yields contraction. Abundance yields scarcity. So, as our world begins to come to balance, I invite you to use this opportunity to make the choice to simplify and to focus on essentials, the things that make you truly happy. And remember that essentialism is a choice. And I'll be the first to admit that I run my lifestyle pretty lean. You probably don't know these things about me, but here we go. I have a car from 2004. I ride my bike pretty much everywhere. I cook most of my meals at home. And since I don't drink often, when I do, my bar tab tops out at about 3 drinks. And this last one's a bit of a vulnerable share for me. I still live with roommates. In fact, there are many more areas where I choose simplicity over excess. Now, can I afford a new car? Or to park in the garage near my office? Can I afford to eat out whenever I want? Or to live only with my future wife in a condo downtown? Resoundingly, yes. And I recognize how fortunate I am to be able to say that, yet I choose to focus on living simply. I make a choice to practice essentialism, because when I do that, something magical happens. My energy and finances are freed up to make choices for the betterment of my health, happiness, and business. I'm not drained by the negative effect of excess, so that way I can be creative and take risks when others run in fear. So I ask, where can you live more simply? Now, I recognize that my lifestyle choices are my own. Your life, choices, and circumstances, they're unique, but there are general principles that apply to us all. First, I invite you to look around you right now. The clothes you're wearing, the car that you own, the house you live in, the things you filled your space with. And do those things bring you joy? Do they markedly improve your life? It's a simple yes or no answer. But you must be honest with yourself and your situation. Perhaps you have a shelf of books that takes up a whole wall in your house. A shelf of books that you've been wanting to get rid of for years. Or even worse, maybe that shelf is filled with a bunch of VHS movies. You see, free space equals freedom of energy. When you have less clutter, whether it's physical objects or financial excess, you're free to maneuver in a healthier way. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about how to assess your financial well-being. When we are in the midst of an economic contraction and there's less transactions, it can be scary. But now is in fact the perfect time to strip your spending down to the bare essentials. So nurses, you can think of this like a head-to-toe assessment of your financial well-being. You see, over the past few weeks, Heather and I, we've done a comprehensive financial review. We looked at the overall health of our finances, played out the worst and best case scenarios, and made decisions that will allow us to rise above the storm. So my invitation to you is to do the same. Because if you're proactive, you can take ownership of your finances from a place of calm. And so there's really a few steps to this financial assessment. And the first, step number one, is to take a deep breath. Financial assessment, this can be daunting at first, but it shouldn't feel overwhelming. Breathe deeply. Let go of any stress, so that way you can have an objective handle on the figures that you're looking at. Step 2 of your financial assessment is to know that this brings you health. Your financial well-being is an integral part of your overall health, and reviews like this are as important as moving your body and sleeping well. Your money mindset is everything. And the third step is to look at all of the credit card statements from last year and all bank statements. So you really want to log into your accounts, download those statements, and this goes for both business and personal accounts. Step 4 is to eliminate unnecessary expenses. Line by line, go through your statements, highlight any subscriptions or unnecessary expenses, and then make a decision in the moment if you still want them or not. If you do want those things, move on. But if you don't, if they don't bring you joy, cancel the subscription immediately or make the choice to eliminate that expense in the future. Because time spent here can save you hundreds of dollars a month and can eliminate so much financial clutter. Step 5 is to simplify towards freedom. Look at patterns in how you spend your money. Are you going out to eat at a restaurant 5 nights a week? Do you upgrade your wardrobe every single month? Are you always buying new tech? See where you're spending your money and then make the decision then and there. If it brings you joy to make that lifestyle choice, then keep doing it. But if you'd have more freedom by eliminating it from your life, then eliminate it. And equally important to this overall simplification process is to eliminate any unnecessary bank accounts. If you have 4 checking accounts, 6 savings accounts, and 20 credit cards, then you have financial clutter. You're going to miss important metrics and make mistakes and wonder where the heck your money's going to. So I'm not saying to go and close all but 1 credit card because that would probably wreck your line of credit, but simpler is better with finances, because no normal person has the time or willingness to go through a dozen or more accounts every single month. So get down to the essentials. Essentialism comes in many forms. We chose to focus on finances here, but the reality is that clutter shows up in every area of life. In your thinking, your environment, your relationships, everything. And the more that you can practice essentialism, the more space you'll have to focus on things that truly matter in your life. And that's how you can live an extraordinary life simply. And living an extraordinary life doesn't have to translate into an extraordinarily high credit card bill every month or having the latest and greatest stuff. It's about knowing what matters most to you and simply creating more of that. If you follow the steps we kind of outlined here while offering yourself patience and kindness, you'll be actively improving your health. You'll be taking ownership of your financial well-being so you can live an extraordinary life without the excess. You'll be eliminating the clutter so you can focus on what truly matters. So I ask, what are you doing to simplify your life? How are you practicing essentialism so you can create more of what you love? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks so much for hanging out, and I'll talk to you soon.